Test on one day. India, England, Australia. What a player! What a player! What a player!
Hello and welcome to Waadaplaya Concussion Sub Series, where we will review the first ODI series of the summer in England between England and Sri Lanka, the one-day format and the T20 format coming up. And to discuss everything about the series, I have Akash and Vishak. The WTC final has been affected by rain quite a lot. We are hoping and praying that at least the limited overs leg of this summer goes without much of interruption. So what's happening? So we have Sri Lanka to England, and there are 3 T20Is and 3 one-days played between 23rd of June, which is the last day of the WTC final, the reserve day, until the 4th of July. So let's look at the squads for both the teams. So many new faces, and especially for ones who do not follow Sri Lankan cricket too closely. A lot of the players they won't even recognize, I guess.
There are a lot of youngsters in the squad, and some of the players are even picked up. If you see the bottom half a little bit, most of them are picked based on LPL performances. So let's go through the squad. It's been captained by Kusal Perera. And then we have Kusal Mendes, who has been touted as a big talent in Sri Lanka, but somehow fails to deliver. He is the vice captain. Dhanushka Gunatilaka, the left-handed opener. And Pathum Nissanka, he has been talked as the next big thing in Sri Lanka. And he has been pretty good, and mainly he has been talked about good in the first-class format, where he averages around 64. So it will be interesting to see how he performs in the limited overs. And Avishka Fernando, he's also been talked about as one of the brightest talents, and Dhananjaya De Silva, the off-spinning all-rounder. Hiroshin Dikwela will be one of the wicket keepers. Washada Fernando, again a good talent. Wanindo Hasaranga, the leg-spinning all-rounder. Then Ramesh Mendes, who is the off-spinning all-rounder. Dasun Shanaka, who is a batting all-rounder and bowls a little bit of medium pace. Isuru Udana, another medium pace all-rounder who played for RCB recently. Then Akila Dhananjaya, who has had the distinction of getting a hat-trick as well as being hit for 6 sixes in the same match. Lakshan Sandakan, the Chinaman player. Then 4 paces. Nuwan Pradeep, Dushmanta Chamira, Asita Fernando and Binura Fernando. Talking about Binura Fernando, he played a test way back in 2019 and he made his ODI debut recently in 2021 against Bangladesh. He is 6'7" tall. And he also swings the ball. He's a left-arm pacer. So it will be interesting to see how he goes about. Next 5 are completely based on LPL performances. Chamika Karunaratne is a medium pacer. Charit Asalanka is a medium pace all-rounder. Dhananjaya Lakshan again was very good in the LPL. He's a middle-order batsman who can bowl a little bit of medium pace as an all-rounder. Shiran Fernando is a medium pacer again. Ishan Jayaratne is a medium pace all-rounder. And Praveen Jayavikrama, he made his test debut recently against Bangladesh and picked up 11 wickets. So it will be interesting to see how he would perform in the T20 and ODI series.
I've taken my hat off if I was wearing. One is to get so much details of the Sri Lankan squad and getting all the names right. Visha, how do you do it? That's excellent, man. Thanks so much. Akash, easy names for you to pronounce. How's the England squad looking? I see that the England squad is completely different to Mahmood. No one else were part of the test squad. Clearly, their focus is limited overs edition, especially T20s this year. They don't want to look at anything else, it looks like.
I can feel Joe Root's anguish here. I mean, if he's part of the ODI squad, so he'll be wondering what will it take for me to get this in the Test 11 as well. He's been fiddling with the second string Test squad basically. So if you look at the squads, more or less the squads look pretty much similar, the ODI and T20 squad. Let's go through the T20 squad first and then we'll look at the differences as well. Owen Morgan, obviously the skipper, followed by Jason Roy, Johnny Bairstow, David Malan, Josh Butler, Liam Livingstone. Sam Billings gets his opportunity in both ODIs as well as T20s. Moeen Ali, the star performer. Sam Curran, again yet another all-rounder who is coming through the ranks pretty quickly. Tom Curran, Liam Dawson, Chris Woakes gets his opportunity in the limited over legs for both T20 and ODIs. This is the one opportunity which he was looking for to cement his place in the World Cup squad basically. This is basically a shootout for the World Cup squad base. So whoever performs well here gets their opportunity in the World Cup squad. And the bowling rounds up with David Willey, Chris Jordan, Adil Rashid, and Mark Wood. The only difference in the ODI squad is Joe Root gets his place in place of David Malan, and you have a new left-arm seaming all-rounder who is George Garton, who is coming in place of Chris Jordan. Garton has had a very successful series with in the Vitality Plus, which is going on at the moment with Sussex Sharks. He's come up with his batting as well. He was just a left-arm seamer all these years, but his batting seems to have improved in this particular season. So his opportunity will also be under scrutiny out here. So in ODI, it's a different ball game compared to Vitality Plus T20s. So if he can show what he's made of, then probably in the upcoming T20 series, he might get his opportunity in T20s as well. So this will be the squad for both ODIs and T20.
Overwhelming favourites, I would assume Vishak is England. I can't see Sri Lanka toppling them over unless one or two players have blistering knock or great spell in T20Is.
Definitely, Sri Lanka's squad looks depleted nowadays. After we see until around the retirement of Sangakkara and Jayawardene, they had a pretty good squad. And later on, if you see their squad, their players, they're still building the squad for the last 4 or 5 years, and they're not able to come up with a good squad. So they're a little depleted, and it would be interesting to see how they perform. Like I wouldn't be surprised if England whitewashed them in both the series, in the ODI and the T20 series, because the primary focus for England is they are looking at the limited overs format finally, and they are looking to win the T20 World Cup. So they are going with the full strength side in both the formats, and it would be interesting to see how they perform. Except they have only one player missing, I think, because they are waiting mainly for the India series, is Ben Stokes. He's the only one who is missing from both those squads. Otherwise, it looks like a full strength squad too.
England with full strength, minus of Stokes and Archer. I think this is pretty much what they might be expecting to see in the future as well. But you should never write off people who have nothing to lose. And Sri Lanka is at the moment at that stage. They have nothing to lose. You've seen what they could have done, what they have done in South Africa as well. They went in there without any, hopeless of a chance. They won the series, T20 series out there. They won the T20 series in Australia, if I'm not wrong, as well. And you just need 1 or 2 performances in T20s. It's not about the entire 11 has to perform all together. You just need one brilliant innings from Kusal Perera, or a brilliant spell from Hasaranga or a Shamira. So let's not write them off completely. I wouldn't say there will be a whitewash in both the series, but I'm expecting England to win both the series out there.
Vishak, any breakout you can think of from Sri Lanka who could potentially get an IPL contract? Because I feel quite disappointed that we haven't seen many IPL teams, or in fact this year I don't think there was anyone from Sri Lanka in IPL featuring. That's why a lot of the faces are unknown. England pretty much 8 or 10 people are featuring in IPL, so we sort of know more about it.
I would be interested in seeing how Praveen Jayavikrama performs, because he looked promising in the test format, but it would be interesting. He is just 23 years old and he bowled pretty well in his first test. To pick up 11 wickets in your debut test, picking up 5-wicket haul in the first innings and 6-wicket haul in the second innings is no mean feat, even though it's against Bangladesh. And even on your debut test, if you do that, it's a big feat. I would be interested to see how he performs. And one good talent which I can see is Dhananjaya Lakshan. He's a hard-hitting batsman and can also bowl some handy medium pace. And a couple of other people whom I would be interested in looking at is Akila Dhananjaya and Vanindu Hasaranga. So if they both perform well, I think these are the people who can possibly look at a proper IPL contract.
Yeah, just like India, Pakistan in England, you will always get good support for the Sri Lankans as well. Akash, would England try and give chances to everyone in the squad, find their best 11 leading up to the World T20? They've got a lot of limited overs format cricket coming up this summer.
I think it'll be try and test. I mean, they have to make sure that they have 100% 15, which is there for the World Cup ready. If you look at all the teams across everybody, okay, if you look at West Indies also now, they're going to be playing around 15 to 20 T20s before the World Cup. So this is all about trying and testing and getting your squad right for the World Cup. It won't be obviously a 50-member squad because of the quarantine rules. You will anyways travel with the squad as a 20-member squad or something. But I think it's all about bringing your best in these opportunities. If you look at somebody like a Liam Livingstone, he's one of the best in the domestic circuit, but he has not utilized his opportunities properly when given a chance in the England shirt. So hopefully, these are the chances which he's looking for. If he and guys like Sam Curran, all these perform consistently well. There should be no reason why they can't be on that particular plane to World Cup.
Vishak predicting this will be a whitewash. Akash, what are you predicting?
It should be 2-1 in the T20 series. I think ODI still will be 2-1 again. If not.
A potential 450 to 500 runs in one of the ODIs. Let's see what happens. But yeah, before we wrap up, we've got something very interesting for you. We've got our fantasy picks. Let's have a look what we've got for the first game coming up.
We have gone with Josh Butler as the wicketkeeper and Kusal Pereira. Actually, we wanted to go with Johnny Bairstow, but Johnny Bairstow is injured. So that's the reason we went with Kusal Pereira. Johnny Bairstow has an injured ankle while playing in the Vitality Blast, and he might be out for 1 or 2 games. So that's the reason we did not pick him. Then we have gone for Danushka Gunatilaka. We have gone with Jason Roy, who's the other opener for England, and he has a history of performing always in the first game of any series. So we have gone with him as the captain, and Liam Livingstone also, who can bowl a little bit as well. And this rounds our batting lineup.
To talk about the all-rounders, we have Moeen Ali and Sam Curran, both CSK players, and we know how they have performed in the IPL in the past. So it's a no-brainer that you have to pick Moeen Ali and Sam Curran. Hopefully England don't do the mistake of dropping Moeen Ali. He is one of the best bets going into this World Cup. And we have Wanedu Hasaranga from Sri Lanka. He's been their best all-rounder in the recent past in the T20 series. And obviously he will be featuring in there with the bat as well as with the ball. Moving on to the bowlers, Adil Rashid is a good bowler in the T20s. He can give you important wickets at the right stages. So we are preferring him ahead of any other pace bowler. Followed by Chamira. Chamira has been picking up wickets consistently for Sri Lanka in the recent past. So he should be in there. And it's going to be wound up by David Willey. We are going to round up the table with David Willey out there. He's a good all-rounder. Although he shows in the bowler section, he's got the ability to talk the ball late in the innings as well. And he can swing the new ball. He's going to bowl 2 to 3 overs at the up top and probably give you a couple of wickets as well. So that will be your 11 for the first game tomorrow.
I'd be really looking forward to David Willey because he missed out on the 2019 World Cup. Jofra Archer was picked ahead of him. Wasn't it Plunkett who was picked ahead of him as well? And you also have got the head-to-head. I'm surprised that there's not much to choose, Vishak. 4 for Sri Lanka, 5 for England. Whitewash is a bit harsh considering that record.
If you see that, the record is from 2006 to 2018. 2006 to 2015, if you see, Sri Lanka had these players like Kumar Sangakkara, Mahela Jayawardene and all this. So that was quite a strong team. So if you see, there is only the next 3 years where these players haven't played. So it doesn't give you the complete reflection of what the Sri Lankan team is currently. But I would definitely, as I say, I would still stick to my prediction. I would be pretty surprised if Sri Lanka wins at least 1 game in this series. But if they do it, credit to them.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to having no more rain. I'm just fed up of rain at stadiums as we've had for the Test as well. So excellent. Akash, Vishak, this has been great. Thank you so much. And for our viewers, we look forward to having you back on other daily reviews for India games and more post-match previews, reviews. Till next time, guys, thank you for joining and take care.
Take care, guys. Stay safe.
Take care, guys.